Hi, my name is Matthew, and I'm going to be giving a quick introduction to home fire building. So, long before the first residential AC unit was ever developed, fireplaces had been a staple for cold season living. Despite technological advances, wood fires provide so much more to a house than any other heating system can ever do. The warm embrace of a glowing fire has really permeated culture as a motif of comfort and relaxation. Unfortunately, while many home builders nowadays have ditched the real deal for a sterile, artificial resemblance of a fireplace, the joy of a home fireplace has really been lost for a lot of individuals. As someone who's lucky enough to grow in a home with a very lively stove, I want to share with you my experiences in building fires so that you too can enjoy the enveloping bliss of a roaring flame. With tips along the way, I'll show you the basics in creating and sustaining a strong fire, including what wood to use it, how to start a small kindling flame, and really how to maintain fire efficiency. As you know, the hardest part of making a fire is just starting it. Without the right materials, you can waste a lot of time trying to get it lit. Before we begin, it is important that you really want to start with the right wood. Whether you're buying your own logs or foraging throughout your own property, you want to make sure that the wood has had time to dry, or weather, as we call it. With freshly cut wood, you're going to need about 2 to 3 seasons to pass before you can actually start burning it. By storing it in a dry place for about 6 to 9 months, that fuel, the wood, will not only catch fire a lot easier, but will also burn much hotter. Once your wood is ready, we can start at the stove. The first step to building a fire is just laying the logs down. You'll notice that I have all of mine oriented towards me, not sideways in the fire basin. This is necessary due to airflow. Proper air channeling is very important to fire building, as without the flow of oxygen, fire just can't exist. While on the topic of airflow, many home stoves will have an air channel which will allow you to modulate how much air is getting in and out of the basin. A closed gate will prevent any fire from developing, so we want to make sure that it's as open as possible. Um, with the base of logs set, let's move on to the ignition of kindling. So, kindling to me is really just any small material, carbon based, that will burn very easily. When placing the kindling, we want to make sure that it's close together, but allowing air, as I said before, to pass freely. And by too tightly bunching it together, it will likely smother the growing flame and it'll never get a chance to build. After the kindling has been set to allow the transfer of the most heat possible to the side logs, we want to grab a match, lighter, or starter stick to begin. Industrial starter sticks burn a lot longer, thus making it easier to start a fire. But as long as you're using your kindling efficiently, you don't really need them. With a lighter or a match, we can go ahead and start the fire with the lightest materials: paper, chips, leaves, small branches, and then work onto the bigger stuff. Once the flame is starting, you can add more kindling to it, or as I call, ramping up, and that will grow the flame so that it will eventually catch onto the side logs. After ramping up the kindling flame by continually adding more kindling to it and building that fire, this can it will eventually catch onto one of the big logs, and then you're set. This can take anywhere from about 5 to 20 minutes depending on the size of the logs and how much kindling you use, and this is where having wet or fresh wood is very annoying. Once this process is complete, the kindling should be mostly burnt away, allowing you to pack the oven with logs. Pack and cut. Um, As long as one log is burning well, the rest should just follow suit. And I usually like to pull the gate a little less than halfway to limit the airflow. By restricting the air, the fire will burn a lot less hot, but it'll burn much slower, increasing efficiency. In doing this, you can serve as much heat as possible, albeit at a slower heat up rate. However, be aware that by not providing enough air to the fire basin will actually cause smoke to spill out of the sides instead of going up the chimney. With the air set and the logs caught on fire, all you need to do from this point on is just keep adding logs and keep growing that flame. So, as you can see, putting a fire together is not a complicated task. And as long as you remember a few things like airflow, wood usage, and how to start kindling, you'll be on your way to having a luxurious and beautiful flame lighting your homes. It's just as the old adage says, build a man a fire, he'll be warm for a night. Teach a man a fire,